Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody. Happy Wednesday, Stevie.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good this morning. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. There's a lot happening, huh?
There is a lot happening in the world. The world, it's something.
It is.
Summer and people, they hide.
Well, it's definitely summer. They have the camps. They started the Troy Daniels camp today.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. Tommy actually went and stopped by this morning. We sponsored one child that went there. So, it's a good thing. Positive things in the city. Also, shout out to Noah Christian Academy. Tommy went out there and did a little sponsorship, and they gave me this beautiful bracelet.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So shout out to them for everything they do in the community as well.
Yeah, Sharnika's a doll. They do outstanding work. Like, she has such an amazing story, and we did feature her and her beautiful Promise, her daughter, on the Just Stevie show, and it's just, Noah Christian is amazing. I know Tommy was one of the Career Week speakers, and I went too. So it was a great week, and they're just exceptional students. So shouts out to them.
Love to hear this positive stuff and want to start our day with the positive stuff this morning, right, Stevie?
Absolutely.
It's a little chaotic otherwise. So, album sales are going up for some people, right?
Yeah, they are.
But unfortunately, they're not here to enjoy it.
Yeah, it is amazing. The numbers are amazing. I have to practice my Spanish with this name. Extension.
Okay.
He's 1,600% sales.
Wow.
Like after he got killed.
Wow. So, and I think we even played something today on Focus Radio.
And it's a nice, I don't know what he was saying. I feel like the old people. I don't know what he was saying, but it was nice.
But it was something.
Yeah, it was a nice to be. And, we just got to pray for him and his family. Mm-hmm. And that's all I can say about that right now.
And that's all we can do. Yeah. Just put him in prayer, But we will talk about that more in just a few. Also, what's happening with Google?
Google, yes, it's a interesting number of people who are Hispanic and African American they're struggling to hold on to. Mm-hmm. And I think because depending on the structure, minorities they want different things. And so I heard personally that Google has an amazing culture and it's a great company to work for. Right. I've never applied there, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. But they said they released this latest annual diversity report this week with the results showing that the search giant is still predominantly male and white.
Wow.
And Black and Latino employees left the company more than any other race. And so the firm made incremental improvements in hiring more females overall, which is awesome. And
I heard the percentage was really low, for Black and Hispanics. For Blacks, I heard it was 3.5. For Hispanic, I heard it was 2.5. But again, we don't know how many people have applied to Google. Mm-hmm. But Asian is high. They have 36% Asians working there, from what I understand. But the majority, of course, was white at 56%. So that's huge. On that note, we'll be right back.
Healthy food for healthier communities. In partnership with Focus Radio and Apple Ridge Farm, the Well Market is a youth-run farm stand providing healthy, local, organic produce to people living in the Northwest Gainesboro neighborhood. Fruits and vegetables such as greens, potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, and squash are harvested from the George Washington Carver Community Garden in Northwest Roanoke and local farms in Floyd County, including Patchwork, Green Island, and Apple Ridge Farm. Money raised from produce sales goes directly back into the program and continues to fund youth involvement and entrepreneurial skill development. Please visit the Well Market every Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. and help support healthy food for healthier communities. The Well, working, eating, living, and learning together.
We're back. Hey, everybody, and thank you to everyone who is tuning in with us today. We want to know how you feel about gun violence. So if you could go on our feed and let us know, because we have a very important guest today. We will be bringing her out in just a second, Mrs. Karen Frye-Cobb. So we'll talk about it, but we want to hear from you as well. Karen, you want to come out? Oh, I'm sorry. She'll be with us in just a second. Not ready yet.
There's a book called Roll Jordan Roll by Eugene Genovese, and he talks in that book about what it means to be African American, what it means to be black, what does it mean to experience slavery. He talks about slavery in a different perspective. He talks about it in the sense where slavery is paternalistic. It was something that was a domain, and people went with what they knew to be correct. That's much to the likes of African Americans today. We are born in systems, we're born in communities, and we're born in environments that causes us to react in a certain way, and it depletes the opportunity for exposure, meaning we can't think beyond our level of exposure. Rather, I mean, this is clear. Dr. Jeff Goddard writes this book called The Love Prescription, and in it he talks about PTSD, but post-traumatic slave disorder. We as African Americans, we take on a license of blame. We take on the suspension of accountability. We no longer are accountable for our own actions. No, we do not take responsibility for them. We play the blame game, and when we play the blame game, there's no action, there's no progression, there's a reciprocal nature of just nothingness. There's an old saying that excuses are tools of incompetence used to build mountains of nothingness, and those that use them seldom accomplish anything. I believe that to be true. There's a lot of things that we can do as a people that will get us off of that hiatus of complacency. You know, if we truly just look at each other and give each other a hand out, that hand out can become a hand up. Why? People say don't give a hand out. No. We need to do that because we've been doing enough of the stealing from one another. What do you mean stealing from one another? Well, then we rob each other of our potential when we don't give the next person a little gem of who we are that can empower them, that can ignite them to go on and do something different, to do something, period.
Conceited, in partnership with UPL, presents our third annual Networking in the City. Grow your network to grow your net worth, a non-profit event that will benefit Apple Ridge Farm and UBU Back to School Drive. Hosted by me, Vernice Bell, and my co-host is Justin Hash. Saturday, June 30th, 5 to 9 p.m. Music will be powered by the one and only DJ Kid. Dress to impress. 21 and over are welcome. Bring your business cards. We will have guest speakers and door prizes at Century Plaza Park, 14 Church Avenue, Southeast Roanoke, Virginia, 24011. For more information, you can email us at networkingthecity@gmail.com or call us at 540-353-1770 or check us out on Facebook. The third annual Networking in the City social is not always what you know, sometimes it's who you know.
We're back. And we have a very important guest with us today. Hey, Miss Karen.
Hey, Erica. Hey, Stevie.
Hey,
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
And I just want to say thank you so much again for your show the other day.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It gave me the chance to talk a little bit about my story and Victoria Jones's story about the loss of our sons, and to tell people that there's a lot of people suffering out here, and tell people about the trauma behind gun violence. Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
You are more than welcome. Absolutely. I mean, you have a story and a journey.
Yep. It is a journey, that's for sure. Yep. One that never ends.
Exactly.
It never ends. you have to kind of reinvent yourself after something like that happens. So you have to find out who you are again, right?
Absolutely.
As you see, I've got my survivor button on. I'm a survivor. I'd rather not wear that button, but you know, that's who I am today. And you all were speaking about existential.
Yes.
And my prayers go out to his family.
Of course.
And you know, his parents and his relatives, because I'm sure right now, no matter what the circumstances were surrounding his death, it's still a death of a child, you know, or a loved one, and so people are going to suffer from that. So
Absolutely.
I feel really badly for them today.
Absolutely.
It was important for me to. We talked Monday, briefly, and when I heard about it, because I've seen through Facebook timeline various things. People are really saying some things that you don't expect to see about somebody who's lost their life. And so I've seen it on a few posts. I've read a lot about him, and it is something that we do have to think about. But at the same time, I think that people, you know, forget what happens if that was your brother, your son, your whatever, because nobody is perfect. And so we don't know what the end of that young man's life could have been had that not happened. We don't know if he would have, I mean, some people are really talking about satanic things, which I did read too, in his lyrics and all these things. But we don't know. God could save anybody. So I really wanted to have the conversation and really to set the stage with what you went through, and also like just the love, the hurt that happens when that process happens.
Absolutely. And you know, no one deserves to be killed.
No.
You know, number one, I don't care what the circumstances are. It seems like today, in today's age, we have a problem with conflict resolution, right? So, you know, one person gets mad at somebody, one person has a beef with somebody, one person has something more than somebody else, and that's what they were saying about extension, that there was supposedly an armed robbery. You know, they knew that he had something and they wanted it, and I think the police is still investigating it, but nevertheless, it just seems like our society is growing to the point where life is just not valued.
It's not valued. I talk about that all the time.
It's not valued as much, and people don't realize how much it's traumatizing our communities. And you know, I've been doing a lot of research lately. It's amazing the numbers, you know, that I've been looking at. I think I had some numbers here that we were talking about, and this study, it was done a while ago. In urban youth, 42% reported having seen someone shot or knifed, and 22% reported having seen someone killed. But then you have the indirect exposure to, you know, some students going to school and hearing gunshots in their neighborhood, so that's indirect. So now they're scared to go back and forth to school. So we just moved to this culture of violence. And with the work that I do with Moms Demand Action, and as a survivor, I come in touch with a lot of people who have been affected by this gun violence. And it's just, it's the root cause. I mean, it runs so deep. Like, violence is a learned behavior, right? So it's not something that, you know, we grow up just knowing. You don't just grow up knowing violence. You have to learn it from somewhere. And with the fact now that so many people are gun owners, number one, if you're a gun owner, keep it safe, keep it locked up, and keep the ammunition separate from the gun, please, so that our children stay safe. But with so many people having guns nowadays and using them recklessly, you know, we're teaching our youth that, you know, this is okay. It's a learned behavior. So it's moving into the next generation. And so we have more mothers who are, you know, grieving. We have more family members who are grieving. We have more children who are growing up without their fathers or their mothers.
Right.
Because of this. And it's just, and people, I read an article where one of our law enforcement officers here at the Roanoke Police Department said it was not epidemic, but it is growing into an epidemic, I do believe. And the epidemic does not mean just numbers. Epidemic encompasses what happens afterwards, right? Because now we have a public health issue. We have people suffering with PTSD. We have people who are unable to recover from their grieving. They're unable to get through it. Then we have increased alcohol and drug use because people are trying to mask the pain and cover up the pain. So it's just really cyclical, and it's very sad.
It is sad. It really is.
It's sad.
I mean, there's no pain worse than that.
No, there's no pain. I mean, there's not even, a man or a wife who loses their spouse as a widow or a widower, but there's not even a name for a parent who loses a child. It's just sad. It's very unnatural for a child to go before a parent. And I remember at my son's funeral, it's such a surreal time. It's like you're walking in this life, just putting one foot in front of the other. You're not really existing, and you're looking down at your child in this casket, and you say to yourself, how can this be? How did this happen? And a lot of people don't even talk about or even want to hear about. And I'm going to talk about it. And that's what my show right now, A Mother's Perspective, the first couple of episodes is Breaking the Silence. I am going to talk about it. And if people want to listen, they're going to listen. If not, that's okay too. But somebody out there is going to listen. When you're looking down at your child in that casket, and you ask yourself, what could I have done differently? So most mothers, and all the mothers actually that I've talked to, are beating themselves up internally, saying, what could I have done differently? If I had done this, would the outcome have been different? For me, it was like I said, if I hadn't moved to Florida to help take care of my parents, and my son and my stepson didn't follow me down, would this have happened? On
that note,
it's hard.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Hello, I am Zariah Bell. What happens when stories are left out of history? This summer, stories will be put in their proper place. A community of people who built institutions such as the Clayton Memorial Clinic, Burrow Memorial Hospital, Harrison School, Addison School, and many more. Resustained streets such as Henry Street, Gainsborough Road, Patton Avenue, and Gilmer Avenue. Gainsborough Revisited will go into detail with interviews from the people who directly impacted the community of Gainsborough and Northeast. They will give the stories of how their families made an impact on the community and city. They will explain what once was and what happened to it. Churches, businesses, homes were destroyed. Land was taken for what would later be known as urban renewal. Who was responsible? What was taken? Why would this happen? Who benefited? And is it happening today? This documentary was the inspiration of Jordan Bell. Growing up in Roanoke, he wondered why the things his grandmother, aunt, and mother said was in Gainsborough aren't there now. So he started to research. Civil rights, education, law, business, medical, religion, and all have a special story in Roanoke. With the help of many, those stories will be told. Thank you.
The Bradley Free Clinic provides free, compassionate, and high-quality medical, dental, pharmaceutical, and preventative health care services for Roanoke Valley residents who lack the resources necessary to maintain their health and productivity using volunteer healthcare professionals. Check them out on their website at bradleyfreeclinic.com.
Children of the Roanoke Valley just can't wait for the fun at Apple Ridge Farm's Summer Academic Camp, all at no cost to qualifying children in underserved areas. This is where Apple Ridge Farm needs you. It costs $800 to send one kid to camp for 3 weeks. Help sponsor a child's unforgettable summer with memories to last a lifetime. Join us as we transform the lives of our community's underserved children. Visit appleridge.org and click on the donate button today. Apple Ridge Farm, serving the community since 1978.
We're back. So Karen, we were talking, and at the end of the day, there's nothing you could have done differently. There's nothing any mother could have done differently.
That's true. And logically, we know that, right? But in our hearts, there's something that tells us, just that mother instinct. It's a mother's instinct to always want to protect their child, right? And then when they grow up and they become adults, you have to step back and let them go out and experience the world and let them do them. But even at that point, I don't care how old your child gets, you want to be there to save them. But, it's just, it's a feeling like, and I don't know how else to explain it. It's like something is missing, like your womb aches. There's an ache there, right here in your womb. And I don't know how else to explain it, but I think that what we really need right now is to get the community fired up. I'm not seeing a lot of the community members getting fired up. Where these murders in Roanoke have been clustered.
Absolutely.
I see talk about it on Facebook. I hear like the government says prayers and condolences.
But it's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
I want to know where the anger is. I want to know, is it the fear? Are people fearing speaking up and speaking out because they fear that they'll be targeted? Is it just the culture of, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want people to think I'm a snitch, and not that we're asking people to speak up about that. I just want to know, where's the anger? Why can't we come together as a people and start speaking up and saying, we're not going to take this anymore in our community. We're not going to take this anymore in our neighborhoods. And I want my children to be safe, and let's do something. It's about the action. And that's what I'm looking towards. So if anybody wants to get involved and action-wise, let me know, because if we have to go into the places, and I'm going to open myself up right now. If any of the people that are doing these deeds, I just want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you. And not from a legal perspective or a law perspective, from let's save another person's life perspective. Let's save another child's perspective. We're just losing too many people, and I know that sometimes it's about anger, and it could be about retaliation, something someone did, something someone said. Let's talk about how we can resolve these conflicts without the use of a gun.
Exactly.
Let's do that. Let's move forward, because if we look at our young black men right now, between the violence that's going on and the after effects of the community, we are killing ourselves.
Yeah.
But we've got to get more involved. I mean, we've got to get the public health department involved. We've got to start addressing issues to prevent the violence. We've got to start addressing issues to keep the violence from happening, to address what's happening right now, and how are we going to move forward in the future. And I've been talking to a lot of people in the community. I've been talking to the Jordan Bells. I've been talking to the Ryan Bells, the Tiffany Jordans, the Robert Jeffries. So there is conversation going on, and there is discussion going on. It's just about how we're going to mobilize and organize to start moving forward in the community, to start addressing these problems.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are very apathetic. We don't, once something is out, just like we're talking these few days about this young man, it's going to be something else to talk about in a couple of days. And that's the truth of it. I think that our society, back in the days when we look at our ancestors, even to the point of Dr. Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and all these people, we didn't have so many distractions.
That's right.
We had, people were doing things and everybody got upset. The churches were a greater form of communication. It was just a different time. So even though things have become easier, like it's very easy for me to text you, call you to get connected on this, we have also become very distracted by whatever else doesn't even matter.
Exactly.
And so I think that's part of this. I think also anger, people don't know how to channel their anger, especially our young black males. They don't feel like they have a voice to be heard other than being brash. And we don't know if this young man had a mentor or a father figure or some type of person just be like, this is how I feel, I'm angry, I don't know why I'm angry, I'm angry.
But what happened, even if you are angry, what happened to just plain old simple fights? You fight, that's it. One person wins, one person loses. What happened to that? When did they decide to take it to the guns? Why?
That's a good question. And that's a really good question. And I remember when I was in high school many moons ago, we had gangs in Philadelphia, right, in the Germantown area. I went to Germantown High School, and they cut out our lunch period because there was so many fights during lunchtime that they just said, okay, we're just going to stop lunch. But there wasn't shootings. There were fights and maybe an occasional stabbing or something like that. But when did guns become so prevalent? And like you said, Stevie, it is almost normalized. You're right. It's normalized. There is apathy, and then everybody right now is about taking care of them and about survival. We have a lot of people out here today. They're just trying to survive day to day, right? And so their thought process is maybe a little bit different than my thought process right now, until you become a survivor, right? So that's what we're trying to prevent. We're trying to prevent people from becoming survivors. Exactly. I don't want anybody else to have to wear this. No. That's my goal. So let's get it together, community, and I'm ready to move forward. Ready or not, here we come, right?
And somebody has to take the lead, because if I say I'm mad about it, you say you're mad about it, and you say you're mad about it, but nobody's willing to be at the forefront of whatever movement, not just this movement. They're not willing to say, okay, I'm leading the charge, because we had leaders back then.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We all like passing the buck, and waiting for somebody else to make a move. We've got to become more, like you always talk about, community based.
Yeah, and then you have a lot of people who are starting so many different I've noticed there are so many different organizations out here nowadays. And I don't know whether it's, I want to be the organization that does it, or we really need to get together and form one large organization.
Absolutely.
And we do need some leadership. I'm not the one. I'll be the person to follow that leader who comes up. I'm definitely not the one, but I'm looking for that leadership right now. But for now, until that person steps up in the Roanoke community, I'll do what I can do on a daily basis, and that's all I can do. And I wake up every morning and I say to my son, what can I do for you today? And that's how I start my day every day.
That's the way to do it. At the end of the day, when it comes to gun violence, nobody's winning. You know, people have lost lives, the family lost lives, and then not to mention the shooter. He's going to jail. That's losing your life.
That's right.
Because you're not going to get just a couple years. You're going to get 25 and up for killing somebody. You may even get the death penalty. So you lost too. Nobody's winning in this situation.
It's a no-win situation.
It's definitely a no-win situation.
It's a no-win. And then that person who did the shooting, their children are without a father.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have definitely got to do something about this.
So on Sunday, 7 p.m., I would love for everybody to tune in. We're going to continue to talk about this topic, breaking the silence, but we're going to talk about solutions as well. And I'm going to have some guests that are going to come on, and we're going to talk about solutions. So we know what the issue is, we know what the problem is. What can we do to move forward? What can we do to fix it? So we're going to have a variety of guests on. We're going to have more moms on. We're going to have community leaders on. We're going to have law enforcement officers on. We're going to talk about how we're going to move forward and fix this problem, because there's definitely a trust issue between the community and the police department.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the things that I really want to talk about, is bringing more unity to the community.
Well, thank you, Karen, and thank you for being with us today.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
inviting me.
much.
Thanks, Stevie.
We'll be
Thanks,
right back,
Erica.
everybody.
Okay.
Have you ever asked yourself, how do I show up in the world? How do I leave my mark? How do I get up every day and be the best I can be? It all starts with a mindset. The mindset to keep pushing through all adversity, to wear the titles of confident, self-reliant, and eternally beautiful. It all starts from within. Think, feel, be, conceive.
It's all in me. Yeah, I can be every woman with brie and B, fashions and accessories.
We're back. That was powerful, Stevie.
It was.
Definitely. I just hope that we can find solutions. I think it's time to stop talking about it and get solutions. We need solutions, you know?
Yep.
Actions definitely speak louder than words, and that's what we need to accomplish, some actions.
Absolutely. It's like what Buffy said, people don't care until it happens to them, but hopefully we won't have it happen to them.
Exactly.
We don't want that to be the wake-up call.
No, we sure don't. So Stevie, it's been a great show today. What are your final thoughts?
So I am so glad that Karen came through and that we were able to mobilize this, because it's true. I wanted to have that conversation, and so amen to that. Wednesday, we know, is my Queen Sugar night. If I could stay up, because last night I couldn't stay up past 9 something. So hopefully I can see that. I look forward to it, because I got to keep with the story. And yeah, I'm going to prepare my time to get the speaking engagement done this weekend in Maryland. So that's what I have going on. Other than that, guys, make it a great day. Don't have a great day. Make it a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, you too have the power to do so. Check Karen's show out on NFE TV on Sunday at 7.
Hey, everybody. Start to value life. If you haven't started yet, that's something you have to do. And nobody can give that to you but you. Shout out to Roanoke, shout out to Philly, shout out to Jersey. And of course, if your birthday is today, happy birthday to you. Until tomorrow, everybody, God bless.
Bye.
Who is N. Wesley Pugsley Jr. and Associates CPA.
We are a full-service CPA firm with over 25 years experience in audit, tax, bookkeeping, payroll, including direct deposit, setting a 501c3 nonprofit status, preparing loan packages, and much more. Since tax season is right around the corner, our focus today will be on taxes. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
What sets your CPA firm apart from other CPA tax preparers?
Technology. When I started in public accounting in the early 1980s, there were no computers or fax machines. Everything was face-to-face meetings. With the advent of computers, the internet, and cloud-based software, we can communicate with any client from anywhere in the country. With our portal technology, which is similar to online banking, you just sign into our secure website, upload your tax documents, you scan to your C drive, and we prepare your return. We've prepared taxes for over 15 different states in the past 3 years, from California to New York. We have the state tax software for all states. With Skype being on phones and Facebook, we can meet with you face-to-face in the comfort of your home.
It appears times are changing.
I call this the year of enlightenment. Many Americans are seeing the advantages of supporting community-based businesses. We are here to serve you, not just because we're a community-based firm, but because we have the experience. We know we can serve your needs.
How are you giving back?
If you mention the Renaissance Academy when we prepare your taxes, 5% of your tax prep fee will be donated by our firm to this organization. The Renaissance Academy is a program designed to engage middle and high school African American males in a series of college trips, community service, job shadowing, workshops, and events promoting academic and social and financial skills. See their website for more information.